How we doing, everyone? Doing a review on the Heighth Defense HGM724. This is a like a PDW grip module for the Springfield Echelon. Similar to the P320, the Echelon has a fire control unit that is removable from the grip module, and that FCU is the actual serialized firearm. So you can swap grips all day long and still have the same gun. So this is a grip module similar to the Flux Raider that is for the P320, but this is a whole new company and a whole new design. So let's get into it. And before I do anything, I apologize for the horrible camera and audio quality. This is my first video, so we're just kind of doing a trial run here and seeing how things go. All right, so this was designed and made by Heighth. I think that's how you pronounce it. Heighth Defense is the HGM724. I was super excited when I found out that this thing was coming out. I think it was about March or April 2025 when I had first seen something about this. I've been waiting, I got this Thanksgiving of 2024, and at the time there wasn't anything like this out for the Echelon. When it first released, I was kind of expecting someone to come out with something relatively soon, and it just kind of didn't happen. So I'm super excited to see someone come out with this, especially someone that, as far as I know, is new to the industry. I don't know his background, what he's done before, but I believe this is the first product to come out of Heighth Defense. So good for them for taking that initiative to fill this want or this need. I Again, I was looking forward to seeing something like this come out, and so I was super hyped. I hopped on the notifications when I first heard about it, and I've been following the YouTube videos about it since, and any posts that came out. So it released for pre-order on July 4th, and I got mine about roughly 4 to 5 weeks later, earlier this month, August of 2025. And I've only shot it a couple times, or well, I shot it one time. A couple magazines is all I got through it before getting rained out. But I just wanted to kind of give my initial thoughts, and then hopefully later on I can do another video after I've gotten quite a few more rounds through it, and kind of run it through some tests. I can kind of give you a more thorough review. But I just wanted to go over my initial thoughts and things that stood out to me right away and things that I noticed kind of early on. So starting from the back to the front, so this is the kind of brace mounting system. You basically have this back strap that comes around, and then right here is where you mount a Picatinny rail. This is the aluminum Magpul 3-slot rail that it's meant for. It's got little slots for the M-lock plates right here. And then I'm running the Strike Industries brace on it. But you can put whatever you can put on a Picatinny rail, you can put on this. So then you have this the shroud here, which is for your optic mount. This rail does not come with it. I put this on, but it has an M-lock slot for you to put whatever rail you want on there. And I believe they haven't released it yet, but they're coming out with their own M-lock optic mount. So that'll be pretty sweet. You can still use the iron sights with this. Kind of not the greatest of picture, but you can still use it. And the screws from this rail kind of get in the way a little bit too. But yeah, when I was shooting it, I was just using the iron sights. I didn't have this rail on here for the reason of the screws. But yeah, I was shooting with irons, and actually the way I have my brace set up and everything, everything kind of just lined up perfectly. Then the shooting position, you know, the grip position is really comfortable. The texture is fantastic. They call it the straight jacket, and so it's not too rough like sandpaper that it's shredding your hands, but it's also got really solid texture to get a good firm comfortable grip on it. The front, I'm gonna call it a magazine slot, is also super comfortable, and they put these gas pedals here for your thumb on the front. Get a good view of that. So that is because on the Echelon, this is the standard size, so it's, I want to say, a 4.5-inch barrel. The barrel ends like right around this front rivet here, this forward rivet. And so if you are wrapping your hand around the shroud, you're gonna most likely burn your thumb, you know, unless your thumb is way back here, which even then, I don't know if there's a possibility that you could burn it, but you know, usually you kind of putting your thumb like this, you're probably gonna burn your thumb doing that. So they put these gas pedals here to avoid that. It's basically, you know, it's not much different than just holding a regular pistol. You're just moving your hand forward. So I get used to it pretty quickly. And then I also purchased the hand stop that the Heighth Defense also designed and has available on their site. It was about like 20 bucks. So it goes on a Picatinny rail that I suppose you could put a laser or a light or something on there, but in my opinion, it's perfect just for this hand stop, and I probably wouldn't put anything else there. Especially not with all this real estate. There's plenty of room to put lights or lasers or whatever kind of accessories you want to put on the front. I mean, for a a compact PDW like this, that's a decent amount of real estate, I would say. I'm pretty impressed with that. And then these rivets are holding a metal shroud on the inside, so that especially with the barrel being kind of recessed in the shroud, there's a lot of heat that it's experiencing when you're shooting a bunch. So that just adds to the rigidity of it, make sure it doesn't lose its form and lose its strength. And just so everyone knows, this, I cleared this well before the video. And then yeah, let's talk about the charge handle. So the charge handle mounts right into the optic cut on the slide. It's aluminum CNC'd. And I was a little concerned seeing in the videos with kind of how close it was to the shroud here that it'd be kind of tricky to get a good firm grip on it, but I've actually found that it's not bad at all. I kind of end up just kind of putting, you know, when I'm trying to go relatively quickly, I just kind of like push my hand up to the shroud and it kind of just falls into place there. There's a little bit of a kind of a groove, and it's super comfortable. And then you can lock the slide back super easily with your thumb right there. So yeah, that was job well done there. So yeah, overall, I'm really impressed with this. But let's kind of go into some of the stuff that I am not super excited about. And I want to preface this with this is by no means me talking bad about Heighth Defense. I think they came out with a great product, and I think with every product, there's always things that you can learn over time. So I hope that, you know, if they see this video, they take this as constructive criticism, and I hope that everyone else watching this video doesn't see this as you know, me talking bad about them, or even talking bad about this. It's just things that I think can be improved in the future. And hopefully we can see that in future iterations and in future versions. Hopefully we see a lot more coming out of these guys. But anyways, let's get into it. So with this back strap, this kind of causes a lot of issues when it comes to kind of this area here. So the mag release was the first one that I noticed. So with this back strap, you can't really reach your wrist around. You're just kind of pushing your wrist into that bar, and you can't really get your thumb around very well. So I kind of find it hard to hit the mag release. I'm really stretching my thumb out quite a bit in order to get that mag release, and I know it's kind of hard to see. Apologize about that, but so kind of messing around with it and just kind of practicing with it around the house and stuff, I kind of figured that if it was really that much of a struggle for you, I've kind of gotten used to it. I've kind of got it figured out, but maybe you have a hard time reaching. Maybe you got smaller hands, or maybe you don't have, uh, uh, maybe you got not so much dexterity in your thumb, so you're kind of struggling to hit that. Another thing you could do, since this is an ambidextrous mag release, is use the middle section of your middle finger and push on it from the back side here. Let me see if I can get better. Yeah, right there. So you're kind of pulling your grip away. It's not ideal, but it is another option, and it kind of suits it when you're I guess here I'll demonstrate it. So you go from you're shooting, and then you go to drop your mag. You kind of spin your hand around anyways, and it kind of just falls into place there. Really, your middle finger. So it's not horrible, but I would say if you can use your thumb, definitely use your thumb. It's a lot more comfortable. So not a huge issue. I think it just takes some getting used to. That unlike a regular pistol where you can kind of really reach around and get a good traction on that release. With this, you kind of gotta work for it. The next thing is the slide lock or slide release. This shroud and the back strap both kind of work in unison to make it difficult. So this makes it difficult to really like reach around, but then this makes it difficult to kind of get this joint of your thumb over far enough that you can get on top of the slide release. You're kind of like basically pulling it down with your thumb as opposed to getting on top of it with your thumb and pushing. So it makes it really tricky, if not impossible. I got it there, but I'm really breaking my grip pretty bad to get it. So you're not going to be doing that super quickly. I suppose if you're really good, maybe you just use your index finger or something. But again, it's not ideal. So, and I think what he's usually doing in his videos, and what I think is also the best way, is to just simply rack the slide, as opposed to even trying with this. It's not horrible, but it's just comes down to more of a preference thing. I haven't tried it yet. I would like to order kind of extended or extra large slide locks or slide releases and see if that helps at all. But ultimately, I think if you were to, which maybe you can do this yourself if you're not worried about making modifications to this, taking a Dremel and just kind of smoothing this down a little bit right here in order to really get that leverage over top of that slide release. I think you could very easily do that. All right, and then next thing, let me drop the slide. I wish, this is more of just a want than necessarily a need, but I wish that they had put a metal shroud inside of this rear shroud that they did on the front. especially with this being the optic mount. I had a little bit of issues when I was first trying to put this thing together, getting this rail to lock onto this thing pretty well, because it's thicker than, like an aluminum handguard. You can't just tighten these M-lock plates flush to the rail, put it in there and turn it 90 degrees and some change. You have to loosen it up quite a bit. And so that leaves you with like doing a lot of turning on your wrench in order to get this thing tightened down really well. And what I found was it was kind of starting to, and you kind of see how this is not a straight 90 degrees. It started to kind of overturn and was getting close to stripping out the M-lock rail. So I'm not a huge fan of that, and I really wish that even if they just did it on the top, put a metal plate on the inside of here to make that a little more rigid. But I got it, and it's good, and I probably won't take it off, so I'm not super worried about it anymore. But just more of a little thing. And then what to me was the biggest bummer was this mag release on the front mag slot. There's I don't know if you can see it there. You can, oh, whoops. There you can kind of see that metal bar right in the middle of there. It kind of sticks in a little farther than the plastic does. That has a little hook on there. That's what catches on the front of the magazine, right there. And I feel like that, when I'm feeling inside there, it doesn't feel like there's really a lot there to catch onto the magazine. And where I started having issues with it was I'm shooting this, and I've got a pretty firm grip on there. And what I found was my pinky especially, and maybe a little bit of my ring finger, were starting to push the bottom of that mag release in. And so then I go to swap mags. I drop my mag and I spin my gun around, and this just falls out without me even touching it. Or I had a time or two where it fell out while I was shooting, and went smack onto the ground. So I think part of that, I think I might be able to fix it without any modification by just adjusting my grip to maybe not put so much pressure on the front of this mag slot, and instead put more pressure on the sides, and kind of drive my hand forward at the top. But yeah, that was kind of a bummer. So I think there could be some very slight design changes here. Increasing the size of that little hook on the metal bar inside here, and then maybe changing the way that this seats, or maybe making it a little bit more recessed than it is, because let me show you on the bottom here, it sticks out a decent bit, so you got a firm grip on there, and it's starting to push it. And maybe I just got a not so great one that's like that, and all the other ones are great, but this is what mine is like. So that was the most unfortunate thing. I think I might try solving this by putting some either some I'm not sure. I was almost thinking maybe put some tape around the mags, or some tape around the inside of here to just kind of make it sit in there a little stiffer, so that even if I do press on this button, it just doesn't go sliding out. It is a pretty it fits in there pretty snug, but I think just making it a little bit more snug would definitely help. So I might try to do something like that on my own, just so that I don't have to do any serious modification, so that I don't have to deal with my mags falling out. But So yeah, I really just wanted to give an honest review to people. I really hope that this gains a lot of traction, uh, and can become a big thing. You know, especially with everything that's been going on with the P320. Uh, I would like to see the Echelon kind of start to pick up the I shouldn't say pick up the slack, but kind of take over that throne. And I think this is a great start, and I'm really excited to see what these guys come out with in the future. I'm really impressed with this. I'm really impressed with the aesthetics. I absolutely love this aesthetic. When you pair it with the Strike Industries brace, it looks great. Looks fantastic. I know they're coming out with their own stock for this as well. I wish they would come out with a brace version as well, but they are coming out with a stock. So those of you that uh, either don't care about the laws or are planning on filing a bunch of Form 1s come January 1st when we no longer have the tax stamp, this might be a great option for turning into an SBR. But yeah, overall, I'm super happy with it. I do not regret my purchase in any way, shape, or form. Just some little minor things that can be tweaked that I might even try to make some changes on my end and see what we can do. But yeah, I hope that most of you guys see this video and uh, get excited as I am about seeing this and seeing something come out for the Echelon especially. So thank you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Uh, and I apologize again for the poor camera and audio quality. I will try to do better in the future. And let me know if you guys want to see me take this out to the range and do some shooting with it. I've got some other things I need to bring to the range as well. So maybe we'll kind of mix it up and do all sorts of different stuff. So cool. Let me know. And thanks for watching, guys.